We are back on the Majority Report. My name is Matt Binder, and joining us now, we're going to actually first play about a 20-second clip from this video that came out. Joining us, though, is Kai Newkirk from, he's an organizer with 99 Rise, and he did something quite amazing. Let's play the clip first.
I rise on behalf of the vast majority of the American people who believe that money is not speech, corporations are not people, and our democracy should not be for sale to the highest bidder. Overturn Citizens United. Keep the capital.
Now, I'm not sure if you heard that, Kai, but I'm sure you can easily relive that moment. What you heard there was video from Kai protesting inside the Supreme Court. This is believed to be the first ever video from inside SCOTUS. That's correct, right, Kai?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Was the first time.
So before we get to the actual filming of SCOTUS, I think the issue that you want to bring forward by videotaping SCOTUS should be talked about first, because it's clearly the more important issue here. You use this video, this filming of SCOTUS, to basically shine a light on what's being called Citizens United 2. It's the campaign finance case. We've talked about it on this show before. McCutcheon versus the Federal Election Commission. Kai, can you tell us a little bit about what this case is about and why you chose this case to shine this light on?
Absolutely. Yeah, we call the McCutcheon case Citizens United 2.0, referring to the decision that the Supreme Court made in 2010, which basically allowed corporations, unions, and individuals to spend unlimited amounts of money to influence and control our elections. And that's what led to things like Sheldon Adelson, a Las Vegas billionaire, spending well over $100 million of his own money in the 2012 election. And the McCutcheon case would basically do for individuals what Citizens United did for corporations, and in particular would allow them to give money directly to candidates, PACs, and parties. Right now there's a cap of $123,000 that an individual can give, and an Alabama businessman, Sean McCutcheon, is suing because he thinks you should be able to give unlimited amount of money to corrupt our public officials. I don't know about you, but not many Americans can spend $123,000 in a year to influence and control our politics, and we need to empower voters and everyday Americans to direct what's happening in our democracy.
Oh, I completely agree with you. I doubt I even have $5 to spare sometimes to these organizations.
That's right.
So let's get to the filming of SCOTUS, because this is shining a light on this McCutcheon case, because this is historic. You and your group with 99 Rise went to a hearing. Was it the McCutcheon hearing? I'm sorry, or was it a different hearing that you went to that day?
The day I was there, they were just talking about patents, but there was a chance that they could be announcing the decision about the McCutcheon case.
Got it.
It's not announced exactly when that's going to happen. So we were there on a day that they could be announcing it. They didn't end up doing that, but we wanted to make sure that the voice of the vast majority of Americans who disagree with this and think that corruption is a serious problem that needs to be reduced, that voice was heard in the courtroom, because we feel like this has become a profound crisis, and that we're not going to be able to deal with the urgent problems that we have as a country unless we can first solve this crisis of corruption and put our democracy back in the hands of everyday Americans.
So when was this? This was Tuesday or Wednesday of last week?
Wednesday.
Got it.
Yeah.
This past Wednesday. So you went down there, and so how did you? How many of you were there? Are you able to say that? Because I know you don't want to name any names, so I'm not sure if you want to give out too much information. But how many of you were able to pull this off together?
It was a small team. We went in just like anybody else. The Supreme Court's open to the public, just not to the eyes of the world. And went in. We were inside the chamber. I got to be honest, it was pretty scary. It's pretty intimidating to stand up and try to speak truth to power in that way. But I just tried to think about all the folks that inspired me to sacrifice to do what's right, even when it's hard, and all the folks that are hurting in our country need a government that works for everybody, not just the super rich.
I just want to tell you, you certainly you certainly pulled it off great. If you watch the video, we're going to add that 20-second clip in the YouTube clip we make of this interview.
Great.
But if you watch that video, you do not sound you are good. You do not sound nervous at all. You're up there and you just let them hear it, and loud and clear. The message was certainly received. But going a little bit further back, do they check for cameras or cell phones or anything like that when you enter?
Of course, yeah. I mean, you go through a pretty standard security screening. And like I said, we just went in like anybody else, had a couple of hidden cameras, and were able to get this unprecedented footage. And I've been just blown away by the response of people around the country on social media and the interest in the media, people who've been inspired. And I think, like the vast majority of Americans, 96% of people, agree that reducing the corruption and money in politics is a real priority, but not enough people have really been moved to act with hope and really do something about it. And that's what I've been encouraged so much to see, is that so many people have been inspired and said that they want to step up and be part of this, and have gone to 99rise.org and have joined and said that they want to be part of a movement and take courageous action themselves with others to end this crisis of corruption. And that, to me, makes me tremendously hopeful. And it's spending a night in jail in D.C. And going through being really scared, sitting in the Supreme Court room and getting up and speaking helps to do that. And I'm just tremendously grateful to have been part of it.
Was there a specific event or action that took place that brought you to this issue of the McCutcheon case of Citizens United in general, whether it's the previous Citizens United ruling or what's being deemed Citizens United 2.0 with this case? Was there a specific action that brought your attention to it, that maybe in addition to you shining this light on, we can inspire other people to become active in fighting this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, it's been a long process. I've been a community organizer in different movements for over a decade now, and just have come to see, I think, like many others, that until we really address the question of corruption and the fact that a tiny percentage of people in our country, less than 1%, super wealthy folks, have effective control of our democracy and can veto potential reforms, until we really address that, we're not going to be able to deal with the tremendously urgent problems that we face, whether that's climate change, whether it's preventing another crash on Wall Street, dealing with inequality, you name it. And as I was working on things over the years, I came to see, look, we have to focus on this. And the good news is that so many Americans agree with us that this needs to change. Our challenge is to inspire them to actually take action and to be willing to make sacrifices. And that's why I did what I did, and I've been really inspired to see the response. And I encourage your listeners, if they agree that we need to do something about this and they want us to have the bright future that we deserve in our country, go to 99rise.org, step up. If you've never done anything like this before, that's fine. If you've done it before and you're ready to do it again, join us. And I'm confident that even if a small chunk of that 96% of people that agree with us are willing to actually put their money where their mouth is and put their bodies on the line, disrupt business as usual, we can change this, we can make history, and we can open up the doors to a bright future for our country. So I call on folks to join us.
Were you and your group, because I'm looking at with the name here, 99 Rise, were you active in the Occupy movement?
Yeah, many of us were. We were inspired by the sacrifice that folks make camping out for weeks in Zuccotti Park and around the country and in the world, and wanted to carry that vision forward. And so we started an organization to train people in nonviolent direct action, nonviolent civil resistance, and to focus on this issue of corruption and big money in politics as the first issue that we have to win to deal with inequality, economic injustice in general, climate change, and all the other issues that face us.
Now, I just want to move back into the courtroom for a second.
Sure.
What was the reaction from the people in the room? Were the Supreme Court justices able to hear you? Did they turn? Did they stop what they were saying? Did the people surrounding you, did they have anything to say? Did anyone heckle you, tell you to sit down as you're speaking out?
Absolutely not. I mean, it all happened very quickly in about 15 seconds. I think people just sort of looked up in shock, and the Supreme Court justices, I couldn't see them very well, to be honest. It did look like Scalia had like a little smirk or something like that, or sort of a look of bemused surprise. He was the only one I had a really good look at. But But then I just saw, the security staff coming towards me, and I tried to get out what I had to say before I got tackled. So I wasn't really aware too much of what was going on with others, but I just kind of noticed, folks kind of generally turn and look. And people were shocked. And, the Supreme Court, I don't know if you heard, they actually deleted the audio from the official, recording.
I heard about that, yes.
From the transcript. But to me, that's really funny because, the sketch was already out, and the video has been seen by almost 500,000 people now, I think, in total. And many more through the media. They can't hide what happened, the truth, and the facts of what happened. And I think it shows in some ways that this had a real impact, that they're trying to kind of erase it from the record, which can't be done. I mean, people see what's happening. They're making these decisions without the level of transparency that they should. And while that's not the central issue for us, it's corruption and the role the Supreme Court has played in deepening that, and the fact that they could take it even further with this McCutcheon case. They're not going to be able to stop this resistance by, erasing some audio from a recording. People have seen it, people have been inspired, and it's only going to grow. I
believe the video on YouTube, I mean, this is to really, I mean, while it's a historic video, I mean, to be able to shoot it, it's very it's very maybe just a few seconds in the video actually are shot show the Supreme Court justices, because you guys are really trying to do this on the down low. And this video, this just handheld shot video, undercover, has over 200,000 views as of right now in less than a week. I mean, people have seen this. It's amazing to me it's great. So just when you were taken away, did the police officers say anything to you? You said you spent the night in jail. Can you just give us a little bit about maybe with that also what exactly it is that they're charging you with?
It's this kind of obscure Supreme Court specific law against that bars firearms, fireworks, and haranguing and loud objectionable language and so on.
That's quite an odd thing to just all bunch together, isn't it?
Yeah, it is strange. I certainly did stand up and speak. Freedom of speech. I pled not guilty. I got a trial coming up later this month, and we'll be letting folks know about that at 99rise.org if they want to support. They took me down for questioning. I spent the night in jail. Got out the next afternoon. It's not fun, but we in 99 Rise are following humbly in a long tradition of Americans who use nonviolent civil disobedience to fight to extend and defend democracy, from the abolitionists to the suffragists to the civil rights movement to the dreamers of today, the undocumented youth. And we've realized, like they have, that sometimes you have to put your body on the line. You have to be willing to disrupt business as usual to win change. And we're facing a profound fight in our country to really save our democracy and give us the power to really make the changes we need to have a good future in our country. And if that means some of us have to risk arrest, go to jail, fast, do long marches, that's fine. There's joy in the struggle. There's sacrifices that we have to make. But there's tremendous power in it, and I invite all your listeners who agree with this, as I know the vast majority of them do, to go to 99rise.org, sign up, and be part of this movement.
Kai Newkirk of 99rise.org. Thank you for joining us. I just want to add, you speaking out is the first time someone disrupted the Supreme Court since 2006 when a protester shouted something about Jesus during an abortion case. I just like to say that me personally, I think your cause is much more noble. And then also,
thank you,
this is the first video footage we have ever, I believe, from inside the Supreme Court. And it's thanks to what you and your group have done. Again, that website is 99rise.org. Thank you for shining this light on getting money out of politics. And thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, brother. We appreciate it.